So my mom and I decided to build an ADU because we ultimately needed an option that allowed us to be closer to each other. Because my mom is older, she has some medical issues. We needed something that we could do because unfortunately prices of homes in Southern California are basically out of our price range. Started doing some research online and just reading reviews, reaching out to my friends who have done this before, which there was a handful of people who kind of pointed me in the right direction. One of which was actually one of my close friends that led me to Legacy Builders in the first place. I basically just kind of cold called Marty and poured my story out to him in a 15-minute phone call, which he was really gracious about and didn't mind hearing about whatsoever. We were able to actually meet within the next couple days. When he came by, him and his father came to our place and were able to actually kind of assess with what we were working with, inspect the garage, inspect the property, and keep in mind too, we have dogs, so that was something that they were really accommodating with. And they didn't make it seem like that would be an issue or that we'd have to crate or relocate our animals, which was fantastic for us. The project from start to completion took 6-7 weeks from the day we started to the day all the major things got finished. It was absolutely amazing. I have talked to my friends that have had ADUs done. Nobody even came close to finishing this project in that amount of time. Everybody I've talked to said it was more like 6 months, 9 months, and only upwards from there with, work and school and everything else that is going on in everybody's nuanced lives. It's hard to deal with a construction project that ultimately you have to be present for, you have to be able to take phone calls at random times while having something that doesn't interrupt your routine for 6 months, 9 months, a year. That was something that was incredibly appealing to us. Whenever you go into these projects, you want to hopefully have somebody who you feel like you can trust, who's kind, who's personable, and explains things to you when maybe something costs a little more than you expected, or there's a change that might be occurring for one reason or another. They're not just trying to pull the wool over your eyes. We actually got to review it when there was a change order. It'd be on this app that the company uses, which he showed me how to download it and use it. So I had to go ahead and sign it myself before work would commence. I could see the change order, and maybe if I didn't want to sign it right away, maybe I had more questions, I could call Marty and we'd have a discussion about it, and it usually would quell my fears. There wouldn't be anything else that I was worried about, and then I'd go ahead and sign. Some of the suggestions that Marty offered to me and my family that we actually ended up taking him up on, well, one of the first things that's really awesome is the vaulted ceilings. Traditionally, you can have just kind of a flat ceiling that a lot of us are used to, but the vaulted ceilings really open up the place big time because you're really working with a pretty small amount of square footage to begin with. So anything that can kind of expand the room and make it feel like you're not just claustrophobic in there, this was such an easy, simple solution to really make it feel just that much like you can actually breathe and like you have room to kind of roam a little bit. Also, the waterfall that is on this peninsula. This is amazing. I love this. I didn't know I would love it. I did not expect to have the waterfall look as beautiful as it actually does. We initially thought we were just gonna get the peninsula with the counter. The waterfall just gives it this element of class that we didn't really know we wanted. These are nice things that we got to kind of treat ourselves to that we just didn't have growing up. If you want your project to be done in a decent amount of time, honestly faster than you expect, I would definitely go with them, not to mention the quality of the work. Everything that has been done, from the windows to the bathroom to the cabinets to the peninsula to the kitchen, as you can see behind me. There wasn't any trade-off there as far as speed and quality goes. First and foremost, before any of that, even kind of gets brought into the equation, is the kindness and personability and communication factor. Of course, I did meet with other contractors to get quotes on this particular project. I think that's, good practice on my end. And it was also something that was encouraged on their end. Both Marty and Rudy said, go get other quotes, do your due diligence so that you feel comfortable if you choose us. Honestly, saying that and letting us know that hey, that's to be expected, that's what you should do, put me more at peace, because I didn't feel like they were trying to vie for my business or trying to be secretive in any way. They wanted me to go out and explore my other options. So that first and foremost made me feel good about the project, and then just the overall friendliness of the entire encounter with both of them. They were so nice and kind and understanding as far as all the concerns that we had with safety and my mother's medical issues, the animals, all that stuff was all taken into account. If you're on the fence, take all these things into consideration, and we had a great experience, and I'm sure you will too.